Hey guys, hope you guys had a good week. Just doing a quick video here just to talk about the trading week itself, what's coming up, what I'm kind of looking for, but also just talking a little bit about the prop firm game. So first and foremost, this downtrend, or sorry, I should say this big downward move was something that I was kind of anticipating for a week and a half or so now. And the reason why, and those who have been following me will know, I have been mentioning this, that we have been kind of creating a bear flag. Now, it hasn't been the most clean of bear flags. I will have to say that this move above the channel started to give me indication that maybe I could be wrong and that we could pull up and come back as a bounce for a higher low and continue to push forward. Um, but I mean, obviously, I think right here, this was a little bit of a tricky spot. I naturally would have wanted to short here at that point, and I did, by the way, and my trade failed here actually when I did take that short because it pushed a bit above before it came back down. But nevertheless, from a big point of view, we're at a very important point in the chart now. I am either looking for us to continue down, and I don't mean that in the most cleanest of ways, but it's either going to continue downwards or we've got to have a relief bounce, right? So I myself, I'm looking for either we are gonna open up lower, test this channel as a lower high and continue downwards, or we could pull up, gap up, whatever the market decides to do when we open. I would look to test this channel to come right back down. So I am going to be more short than anything. And as I've said before, it doesn't mean that you can't have long opportunities. It just means that for me, the A plus setups that would normally be short or are, in my opinion, going to have a higher probability of happening. So that's just the chart. The other thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about was, and I'll share a little bit more trading statistics. This is actually my Tradeify account stats. This is for all 5 accounts that are synced together, and the stat platform that I'm using to journal, for those who don't know already, is TraderStats. I recommend using this a lot just because of the cost and the efficiency of everything, and some of the people that I'm starting to coach with as well. I use the mentor mode quite often to be able to help others. But the stats for Tradeify have been good so far for the month of March. We're almost over. We have one more trading day left until the month ends, and I'm probably going to take it easy, to be honest, to really just start off fresh in April. But very solid win rate, even profit factor as well, all things, right? When we take a look at the calendar, and I've updated this last week as well, continuing the trend pretty solidly here. I had the one losing day between all the accounts. Again, this is a combination of all accounts, right? So I could have 3 accounts that could have had a good day and 2 accounts that could have had a bad day, right? Because I do individually trade them. I don't copy trade the accounts. But over the course of this week has been pretty solid. I had a little bit of a rougher day on the Thursday here, and of course that's a mixture of the New York session, Asia session going into the day, right? But overall, the week itself was much stronger than the last week. As you can see that, the prior week I finished off at 5.6K. This past week I finished off at a little over 7K. So overall, some very strong performance from Tradeify. I am primed to have a couple more payouts as soon as we hit their payout cycle, which is between the first and the fourth here. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now, and with that said, I do want to talk about this because, with prop firms, I have to say that it has kind of taught me to trade a little bit differently, and not the way I trade the charts per se, but what I consider as a win or when I decide to take a pause or whatever, right? What I mean by that is that prop firms have rules. Every prop firm will have their set of rules, profit targets, you name it. I find that myself, my main priority when trading prop firms is to get the payout. I know that seems like no duh, but I do think that sometimes we overshoot, or sometimes, yeah, we overshoot or we get a little too greedy, right? And it causes us to lose the accounts, right? I've known so many people who've said, I got so close to a payout and then I blew the account. I find myself is that I don't mind taking small wins every day, high probability setups, high probability win rate, so I can get to those payouts, right? And now every prop firm is gonna be different. I say this, for example, some prop firms like, Tradeify, My Fund of Futures, for those, there are consistency rules, right? And so with that, I am not looking to have home runs because every single time I shoot for a home run, it actually makes the consistency rule that much harder to achieve for me to get that payout. So I'm very content with, hitting like a $300 to $500 day every single day for 5 days, 10 days, however many days I need to for the payout to happen to secure that payout than to overshoot and really put myself in a tougher position. Now, there are different accounts for different kinds of trading. With Top Step, I'm a little bit more aggressive. Because there's no consistency rule with them, I'm okay holding that for that $2,000, $3,000 move. Because, yeah, again, the payout's the payout in the end of the day, right? But I think it's just important for us to have perspective. So I do have a different perspective and method of trading to do with every prop firm to ensure that I secure those payouts. Because again, in the game of investments, right? If you're going to spend 100, $500 on an account, let's just say you blow five accounts, okay? That's off of, let's just say $200 accounts, five accounts, that's $1,000. That's a lot of money, right? I mean, if I had the ability to take my time, secure that payout, at least if I get the payout and I blow that account, it's not that bad because your ROI is still in the positive. And what I mean by that, I'll use an example as like Tradeify's 50K straight to funded accounts, right? You're spending about, I think, $330 after you use the discount for an account, right? When you secure your payout on that account, which by the way is a $3,000 profit target over the course of 10 days, if you can achieve that, you might tell yourself, oh, I want to create a little bit more of a buffer room before I extract my payout, which isn't a bad idea. But if your goal was talking about ROI, right? Thinking about business perspective, because I look at trading in a very binary manner. If we're talking about ROI, if I spent 330 USD on an account, if I just take it nice and slow, hit, $300 per day, $400 per day for 10 days straight, I'll hit my profit target. And then I can, ask for a payout, request for my payout, which is going to be about $2,000 on a 50K straight to fund it. Yes, my drawdown is not going to be a lot. Like I'm not going to have a lot to work with, and there's a probability that I might blow that account. But you've now taken 2,000 USD. So off of spending 330, you made 2,000, right? So you've almost 7x your money. And so for me, when I get to that stage, you can use that 2 grand and you can buy 5 new accounts, right? And so at that point in time, you can then multiply that, whether you're copy trading or you're individually trading. So for me, I am looking at this from a larger perspective of it's very binary. Look at your ROI. Sometimes it doesn't make a lot of sense for you to overshoot and get those big gains, right? And have patience, right? Uh, Um, I can go on for a lot more, but it is pretty late here in Hong Kong right now, so I'll leave it at that. But I hopefully that does add a little bit of value. As always, please drop a comment if you have any questions or anything like that. Subscribe if you haven't already. It does help me out a lot. But again, until next time, I'll see you guys around.